It means a lot because it's been quite a journey for me. What I really truly miss is getting in the ring and performing. There's nothing like getting in that ring and performing in front of thousands of people.
When she first came back, there's a lot of people doubted her, like, why?
You know, you still have that fire.
She's proven that she belongs. She's proven that she wants it. She's proven that she's really good at this.
It's pretty incredible. Just trying to make me cry, first of all.
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is Diaz.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
And we are here all the way in Cleveland for SummerSlam special. And we have a very special guest for this special SummerSlam review. The Demon Diva, Isa.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for finally being here.
We tried this for a while.
Finally happening.
So you probably know Isa as a meme queen. She's quite well known for her reaction to Royal Rumble entrances.
That's how I first found out about you, though, for sure. Very entertaining. I can see why everybody else does too. It's amazing. So fun.
Yes, I still get it. I was at the superstore yesterday and somebody was like, "You are a IWC meme queen." And I'm like, yes, I know.
In all your Roman Reigns thirst. Understandable.
Of course.
I literally just started following you on TikTok right before we started filming this. And the first thing that auto-populates is your name followed by Roman Reigns.
We just got out of SummerSlam last night. We barely got to sleep because it was such a good show. There's so much to talk about. Let's start from the first match, the match that opened the show, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. We talk about the gears first. What do we think?
I was obsessed with Rhea, but I think Rhea could come out wearing anything and I'll be like, she looks amazing.
That's true. The details looked really cute.
The purple color too. It was it was stand out. It's not a dark purple that Judgment Day goes for. This was for a little more vibrant, I thought.
And then I think during the match, her booty shorts came down a little bit or something.
Yes, it was a vibe. I was like, she might have started a trend. I might do that tonight.
She's turning everyone bi and lesbian. I mean, she's onto something for sure. Liv's gear I thought was pretty muted, surprisingly.
I thought so too. It's always based on something. So I feel right away, I'm like, what is this based on? But then I couldn't really pick up on it. It was a really more muted, not as obvious as it usually is.
I'm with you on that. I always try to figure out what the reference is, what the pop culture reference is, and I'm just looking at it and I'm like, why is this gear so quiet? Which I know we'll get into the match later, but I was like, is it because she has such a big moment planned that she doesn't want the gear too? And,
because she's heartbroken by Dom saying a lot of stuff.
I don't know if we're allowed to curse in here, but it was very naughty words.
By the way, how's your hot girl summer going? We of course love WWE SummerSlam, but I know a lot of y'all are also SummerSlamming in your bedroom too. I'm here for you, and that's why I want to talk about Prep and DoxyPep with Q Care Plus, because we want both satisfaction and safety guaranteed, right? And Prep and DoxyPep with Q Care Plus is fast, easy, and most importantly, free. No joke, 99% of Q Care Plus patients get all they offer at zero cost. And getting Prep with Q Care Plus is super fast and it's all online. Signing up online takes just 5 minutes. Online appointments can take less than 15 minutes, and your first prescription will arrive super fast, just in time for your next night out. They even have same day or next day online appointment, evening and weekend appointments available too. Again, everything is online, so no travel time, no waiting rooms, no pokey doctors. Q Care Plus delivers at-home kits and prescription to the door of your choice. And this is really cool, and many teleprep providers do not do this. Q Care Plus screens for STIs at the same time they test for HIV, and unlike others, they will provide you treatment if you test positive. They don't leave you hanging. By the way, you probably know what Prep is, but if you don't know what DoxyPep is, it's basically the STI morning after pill. They help block those big three before they even get started. Q Care Plus will prescribe DoxyPep for you along with your Prep prescription, so you can get your whole packaged protection. And if you want more than my recommendation, check out Q Care Plus's online reviews. Patients love them, so satisfied, and 5 stars on Google's from real people. Sign up today at qcareplus.com or use the QR code on the screen right here. It will prepare you right for your hot girl summer.
Not gonna lie, I automatically knew as soon as Liv came out that she was gonna go over.
No way.
Because she didn't look sad. Every time Liv Morgan comes out to the ring and she's gonna lose, you could tell on her face. She looks so sad and upset, 100%. Even if she's still smiling, you could still see that sad twinkle in her eye. But this time, she was very happy and smiling, she's going over as soon as I see her come out.
I thought that it was one of Liv's best matches.
Oh, okay.
I really, really like the actual in-ring action. I think there was so much story and so much going on that we were paying attention that I went back and rewatched it this morning so that I could be prepared for this. I really thought that Liv looked great. She had a great dance partner. I mean, Rhea Ripley is incredible at what she does, but I really enjoyed the in-ring aspect of Liv's work and how much she's grown, not just on me, I feel like on everybody. Right. But seeing her character work and her in-ring work match that, it's been fun to watch her. Watch her, no pun intended.
Watch me, the watch me lady. I love the whole storytelling in this match. This match was like very story heavy. Like from the first 2 minutes, maybe they were doing like hide and seek.
So I know I read this on our chat, on Ring the Bell community chat. Shout out to everybody who's part of it. That they got 20 minutes like right before the show started. They're like, hey, you're getting 20 minutes. So I going into the match, I had that in mind. And the beginning spot totally looked like, oh crap, we got 20 minutes. Let's add something on, but not really do moves. So let's just like extend the time. At least that's what I would have done if I was in that position. Let's pad it up with some Gaga stuff at the beginning. So that felt very much so like, we have 20 minutes to fill and I don't really know what to do. So let's just play cat and mouse for a little bit. So it felt a little long. If it's the first match on the card, you're in a great spot to like start off the show hot and go. So I kind of wish they would have maybe started off hot at the beginning, then went into that spot, especially because they have so much history. I mean, you're mad. She took your man. She took your bell. Chingazos. Go for it. I see why they played it out. It did build up really nice afterwards. The pacing was good.
I liked it because like at the end, Rhea had to sell the fact that she was so mad at this woman that she was using the chair on her. She does not care about the title. The shoulder spot. We gotta talk about the shoulder spot.
Yeah, I loved it. I want to know if it was a real thing or not. As somebody that can do weird things with my bones, I know that you can. I can do a bunch of. Listen, I'm double jointed everywhere. Not that people need to know that. So I can pop things and make them look all broken. I was like, is it real? Is it not? I loved the crowd reaction from everybody, including the people at the press box, even like the media people. Everybody went crazy when she like, popped it back into place because Rhea is such a badass that every time we get to see it on display, like it never gets old to see Rhea Ripley just Rhea Ripley.
I loved the first one when she like just slammed it against the announcer table. That was my favorite. I actually thought she was headbutting it at first. I'm like, oh girl, calm down. And I really thought that. And I'm like, oh okay, she's getting her shoulder back into place. I kind of wish they didn't go back to it again. Like when she did it in the corner in the turnbuckle. I wish it would have made way more sense and been more powerful if they just did it once.
I think Rhea did a really good job because it's an ambitious spot. Like that's an acting spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Rhea Ripley auditioning for Hollywood. Like that was pretty good. I think she like really sold it when she first told the referee like it's out or something. It was like, oh, okay, is it really out?
Yeah,
I bought it for like a second.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it was just badass. And the crowd is like fully on Rhea's side. So when she was doing that stuff, it could be kind of hokey, but she sold the heck out of it. People loved it. It was a great moment.
This match was definitely a little overbooked, but I think it kind of worked. It was very dramatic and like very like, and like very like character driven. But I think this storyline called for it. It was very like telenovela. Like I was here for it. You know, so much telenovela. Like the drama, the character, the slapping, the betrayal. It was all there. So I felt like it was so messy, but it worked. So for this match, for the storyline being kind of almost like bordering hokey, corny, it worked though.
But what did you think of the wrestling wise?
I enjoyed it. I do agree with you, Isa, too. That was one of the best in the ring that I've seen Liv for sure. They have really good chemistry. Liv has gotten so much more crisper with her moves. Like she hits it and she hits it good. Because I love her finisher, but I think it was really good in ring wrestling. Because I feel that the in ring stuff can kind of like fall to the wayside when you have so much going into the character with the storyline. But they did a really good job of like balancing both, of having hard hitting spots in the ring and also having all the fun stuff, shenanigans going outside of it too.
And this is Rhea's first match since coming back. Do you think Rhea looked on point?
No, she looked great. She did look on point. No ring rust at all. I feel like she was probably like still training as much as she could. I could never tell that she missed a beat at all.
Yeah, because the rumor was that she's still recovering from the shoulder, so she wasn't like clear when she was back.
Yeah, there was some rumors going around that she wasn't able to do something in-ring wise up until SummerSlam. Right. She was just working on the story, which is what we saw. If I watched the match and I don't know the story going into it that she was out for that long, I would have not been able to tell.
Maybe they were just working us for that spot, that shoulder.
I will say, like, everybody was like, oh my God, that's her injured shoulder. Is she going to be re-injured? Like, it was very good. It was very dramatic, and I loved it.
I did love it, but I think for me, nothing's going to beat Alexa Bliss spot. That one was gnarly. She was like,
oh, yeah, this.
When you, yes, that.
You broke my arm.
That was cool. The ending, let's let's talk about the ending. So what happened was Dom, so he stopped Rhea from using the chair, which is like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. And I'm like, okay, makes sense.
But then later he slipped in the chair so Liv can use Second Oblivion to the chair, pinning Rhea Ripley. Even at that point, everyone was like, okay, was that a mistake? Dom doing dumb shit. But we all saw that he smiled.
Yes.
And then they just went at it with the tongue going. They were swapping saliva, kissing passionately, everything. Okay, what did you think?
I thought that we all as a society agreed that Rhea was going to get the title back as soon as she came back. Okay. So, yes. So, I thought that they were going to do something hokey where you didn't know where Dom was yet. I didn't think we were going to go full blown in, but I was here for the drama. I knew I was into the storyline. I have been enjoying it. I love the messiness, okay? But when it happened, I legitimately felt anger. I still feel it. As you were telling me, I'm here looking at you like, oh. So it worked.
Very much so, for sure.
Because Rhea's face.
Yeah, Rhea's face. So Rhea's face at the end of it, because we're just talking about how much we love seeing her being a badass, but she looked human. Like she's a woman. She had a heart. And I'm like, call me. Forget about that, Rhea. I got you.
I mean, we got a lot of people in the line. We got Jey Uso. We got Paloma here.
Yeah,
Issa now.
Okay, but I confess my love to her on my YouTube channel. Go check out the interview. She didn't say no, so I have a chance.
Oh.
I mean, we all been there. I mean, how many times have we all been screwed over by men? We're like, screw it, going over to girls. So hey, let's do that. Why not? Let's do that storyline. Let's be like Rhea's like, you know what? Screw these men. I'm turning over. Where are all the girls at? 'Cause they're giving me all the love, and then go on with a different storyline.
It was kind of funny because I feel like a lot of people did expect this turn to happen. Like, it's a logical next step with the storyline. But when it happened, I was still gagged. I was like,
totally.
This is disgusting.
But there was a point, Liv, on Monday, when she did the toxic X and I'm gonna go stalking.
Yeah.
I almost wanted it to go in that direction too, because I think Liv will play that paper
for
so
sure.
well.
So
So
good.
I'm here for what they did, but at the same time, I was like, yo, Liv as a toxic X will be so good.
Yeah, I do love that. I was kind of into the whole Dom and Liv thing when it was like they're getting really into it. So I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen? And like by the time they were finally gonna make out, Rhea Ripley came back and I was like, God dang it, a blocker. I mean, as much as I love Rhea, I was like, this is blocking. So I was kind of happy when it finally happened. So we'll see. They might have a live ceremony or whatever.
A
We'll
throuple?
see.
What about a throuple storyline?
With Rhea?
Yeah, why not? Being progressive.
What if they leave him and get together?
There we go. That's the storyline we all want to see.
That is very much of a Tamina Dana situation
Right?
when they got married.
Liv and Lana, remember?
Yeah, oh, that too.
Shout out to Liv and all her facial expressions, especially after that falsie. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like you could see, I love what you said that Rhea became human. I felt that way with Liv when she got that falsie and it was like a 2.5 count. That facial expression just like solidified that falsie. I mean, everybody around me was like on the edge of their seats. They were so into it. And that was like the perfect place to put that falsie because I really didn't know what was going to happen at that point. They had me hook, line, and sinker. I was there. But I like that the little things, like at first the Dom grabbing the chair and then him kind of smiling and him sliding it in. You're almost like, no. Like it kind of like built up to that and finally like solidified it at the end. So I'm glad it wasn't a very like obvious, super obvious betrayal towards the finish. It was more like kind of like, but he no. So it's kind of cool how they like played that up and to finally solidify it with a big makeout session.
Yeah, I mean, from the start of Rhea Ripley being like overconfident over Liv, it like told a really good story throughout. They did an amazing job. I did have a question though. Like, is it kind of dumb that these two powerful, athletic, sexy women are fighting over Dom?
Yes.
With the championship involved.
Obviously, Judgment Day is like disbanded in shambles now. So I was thinking like maybe like Rhea is like, screw all y'all. I just want my title and I just like concentrate on that. Because you're right. Like these two powerful, awesome, intelligent, talented women fighting over Dom. Maybe they'll both be like, what are we doing here?
What do you guys think Dom is going to tell? Like, do you think he's choosing Liv because maybe he felt like she made him feel like a man? Is that the story that he's gonna go where with Rhea he was following like a puppy? You know, like I really am curious about what reasoning he's gonna give us behind why. Because we're all like, it's Rhea Ripley,
Right.
But it's also Liv Morgan. I'm too into it. I'm telling you, it's so messy.
I think Dom's gonna be like, I'm sick of being bottom now.
I was going to say that too.
I'm gonna be on top. That's what my ex said. But anyway, and also I kind of hate that I kind of think Dom is getting hotter.
No, with the mustache.
Not the mustache.
Not the mustache.
I'm kind of into mustache
I'm
lately.
into ex-prison. Like when he was doing the Cont thing.
same.
With
that was
that was a hot
for sure.
The tear? Come on.
Let's move to the next match. Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. Nia freaking Jax coming out with the crown, that gear.
She looks so good.
Everything.
So good. That applique that looked like she was wearing a necklace, but it was really part of her gear. So beautiful, so regal, fit perfectly. And I think she's balancing the line of perfectly of like being the queen gimmick and still being herself. Because I wanted to have some implement of it, but not like, oh hell, like and have a random British accent. But even though I loved it when Zelina Vega did it, she's doing it perfectly because she looks like a queen without a doubt.
Because if she wants to go all the way, she will go all the way.
I loved her gear, and if you go back and watch it during the intros, you know how they do like the AK cam, like they look even extra.
Oh, yes.
The applique starts shining, and there's this lighting on her face, and I'm like, she's everything. We know she's everything, but at that moment, I'm like, I need a screenshot of that. Am I making my wallpaper? I think she was my favorite gear of the entire night.
You're so right. The light reflected perfectly off that gear, even in the middle of the match. It was like almost like blinding. It was beautiful.
And just the hair with the wind, everything. I love Bayley's gear too.
Me too.
It was like an updated hugger.
Damage control on top, hugger at the bottom.
Yeah, because the storyline was about how she's not a hugger anymore and she's a new Bayley. So she like kind of brought that element into this gear.
I like Bayley's entire look. I always tend to like Bayley's look. The hair, the makeup. I love the makeup. I don't know if you noticed the eyes match the color of the gear perfectly.
I love the colors of Bayley's gear. I always feel like Damage Control looks like a Tokyo street, like that very popular street in Tokyo that they always with all the cool neon street signs. I always feel like they look like that. But it was a good combination of like combining two of different eras of Bayley in one. And I feel like she finally nailed her like makeup and hair for a while now, because I know for a while there we're just like, what is going on with this Cleopatra look? But she looks great, especially with the purple in her hair.
Honestly, the week after the BBL Bayley comment, she like snatched.
And shout out to Bayley. Always, every time she has to wear in street clothes, I want that. Where does she get it at? She always looks so good. Like, I don't know who her stylist is, but shout out to them.
So what do we think of this match? I personally really, really loved it.
I thought it was good. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I thought it was good. The story got there. It definitely took a little bit for the crowd to get behind him, for sure.
Crowd was
but
rough.
I felt like they were a little bit holding back at times. Like I felt like Nia got there at the end, especially loved it. But I felt like I almost wanted that a little bit more of that like boiling at the beginning. For me, it took a little bit too long to get there, but it was good. I liked it, enjoyed it. I didn't like love it. I definitely loved the Rhea and Liv match better.
I think they had to work a little bit harder because personally, I'm not sure that the story got pushed as much as it could have been, especially with the time that they had to build it with Nia winning Queen of the Ring so long ago, where we go into Liv and Rhea and we're all so invested because it's so storyline heavy, where these two women had to work harder with their in-ring to get us to get into the match, and I respected that. I really liked it. And you pointed out to me yesterday where you were like, Nia hasn't had a bad match since she came back, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, she has not. That was amazing. She's incredible. I mean, we'll get into it, but I was like, anybody could win here, and I will walk out happy. Tiffany could have cashed in, I would have been happy. Bayley could have retained, I would have been happy. Nia winning, I would have been happy. So I'm like, we all win.
I loved it. I loved the match so much because like I love how Nia was like, she was having a lot of fun. The stink face. She was sitting on Bayley's face. I love that. And then Bayley also brought some of the stuff that she did on the takeover match with that submission. Like I loved a lot of callback.
I love that Bayley was doing the throwbacks to their first takeover match when she put her in the sleeper hole, because I remember watching that match back then and you thinking, how is she going to overcome Nia Jax? She was just larger than life at that moment. And to see not how far Bayley has come, but Nia as well. If you go back and watch that their first match and compare it to what they did last night, it was night and day, and I just absolutely love that.
I think, like you said, the crowd was a bit tired at that point. We had a lot of title changes, so already there was like a lot of stuff going on that was blowing people's mind. I think people really woke up. The powerbomb.
Yes. 100%.
Wow.
Yes.
That was huge.
For sure.
Was humongous.
That was such a great spot. It was greatly paced. It was awesome. I think that's what was needed, like that shot of adrenaline the match needed to really take off. And I think that's when everybody started getting really into it.
You felt the energy switch
for sure.
in the stadium when that spot happened, for sure.
Even like when Bayley did a dive outside and Nia caught it to a
awesome.
Samoan drop, that was really awesome. And can we talk about the 3 Annihilator? Wow.
It was incredible. Every time she does that spot, I try to figure out how are they taking that safely? Like, how are we doing this and people are not dying?
I know. I'm still surprised that Lyra's walking.
That one, she sold that so well.
Because that finish was so iconic. I was like, how is Nia going to top that? She did it with a double Annihilator. I was like, yes, that was such a good one.
And I think it almost like speaks to Bayley of how like awesome and powerful she was in this match that she had to do that twice, especially after powerbombing Nia.
The powerbomb spot, and then she did the elbow. For a second, I thought that might end there because it was like there was some really good nail biter spot. And then Tiffany Stratton coming in with the referee with the beautiful briefcase.
We love that briefcase. We had like a conversation about the briefcase before this. We loved it.
Extensive.
Well, I said don't cash in. You need to carry it around longer. It's
I
so
know.
pretty to give it up this fast.
And I want it in my set. So if anyone wants to donate it, I'll crystallize it even more. But it's beautiful. She will not give it up anytime soon. Tiffany coming out with the referee, I was like, what are you thinking, Tiffany? You're the princess to the queen. Are you betraying? But I think at the press conference, they were all like good. They were like celebrating together in the ring. So I think it was planned.
It was planned. It had to.
Yeah.
She went flying after she like got up on the
Right
apron
away.
right away. But I do agree, maybe like a little establishment, maybe they'll have a promo about it for sure. Even before she came out, everybody in my section was chanting for Tiffany, like, we want Tiffany. And so
And I love Nia and Tiffany's relationship. They really love each other.
Yes,
you can tell.
they
Even
do.
in the presser.
Yes, they were at the press conference, and even from the second they walked in, you can just tell. If you watch the presser, they're just staring at each other with such googly eyes. Like, they care about each other. I will say, I think it was planned. And I am here for the storyline of a champion being best friend with a briefcase holder and using it to their advantage instead of the whole, oh, she's going to turn on her, she's going to hit her with the briefcase and now she's going to cash in. I love the idea of them using it as a power duo. Now we're powerful. Nobody's going to overtake us.
So this ending, it was pretty divisive, mostly because the Bayley's reign was so short. So what was your like gut reaction right when this happened?
I wanted Bayley to retain. I don't know that this is my favorite reign from Bayley, you know? I felt like we could have put more behind her. So I wanted her to retain, but I have been such a huge fan of Nia since day one, and I have seen her grow and what she's done since this comeback. I love that Triple H talked about it last night in the presser where he said people were like, why Nia Jax? And now you guys are seeing why we are. And she's so powerful and she's so beautiful and what she represents. I told you, I felt like I would have been like, we all win no matter what. But my gut was a little bit of heartbreak for Bayley.
She had such a great moment at WrestleMania. Like, entire arena was chanting her name. They were singing her song. Like, they were so fully behind. Even with their storyline coming into WrestleMania being so lukewarm, it could have been so much more. So she won the title there with so much fanfare. And since then, what did we have? We had Queen of the Ring tournament. We had Money in the Bank. So Bayley, for most of the reign, was just backstage watching TV. And being like insulted by Piper and Blair. So I was like, this is so sad. At least she had the Meiko Satomura match that was, I guess, uploaded by WWE.
finally, because everybody kept on pirating it.
Right, I was like, this is so sad. Like, Bayley deserves the moment to shine, but she really didn't get any, like, I guess that match against Naomi was really good. And then also triple threat match was good.
Yes.
But I feel like it was just not it. I feel kind of bad for Bayley.
This is when Bayley solidified for me that she could make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Like, she wasn't given enough, 100%. And that's kind of feels so weird to say because she's such a good wrestler. I unfortunately don't want her to be falling into, like, she's such a good hand. We're going to put her as champion because we know she's going to have great matches whenever we need another champion. But I feel like this is when Bayley's like, all right, this is the position I'm going to be in. So I'm going to do the most of it, especially coming out of Damage Control because I really loved that storyline and all that because I actually kind of felt like she was gonna not flounder, but like she needed that backing for a while. So I'm glad that she was able to have that moment in WrestleMania. But I feel like this is where it solidified for me. Yes, of course, it could have been way better title arranged, but for me, it solidified like as a creative and what she can do in the ring and as a worker that she's willing to go do it and do the best she can. And she has 2 minutes. She's getting backstage, you know, being berated by Piper, sure, but she's gonna look great and do good at it. Why does Bayley always end up getting like the short end of the stick?
I
It feels
know.
like.
And my heart sank when you mentioned Damage Control because I realized they kind of dropped the storyline of Damage Control completely. Like, they could have had that triple threat match, EO's rematch. There was no follow-up to that since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So that is so disappointing. So I feel really terrible for Bayley. But at the same time, I am so happy for Nia. You know, my bestie Nia. Because I interviewed her when she like just got out of WWE. She like kind of felt the fans piling on her. She was kind of like done with wrestling, but also she like had that so much adrenaline drive from going to Rumble. She was trying to see if she want to come back or not. And what a great choice coming back. This year is Nia Jax's moment.
We're living in her world.
And I hope this means that the Queen of the Ring is here to stay and that continues to be like the propeller to push whoever wins that. Because I feel for a little while it's just kind of like a throwaway title or if you win that, it's like, oh, okay. But I feel like this kind of solidified, like, hey, if you win Queen of the Ring, you could become champion soon. Nia's been doing great. I love that she's not scared to be a heel. Like, she's one of the very few people that like doesn't care to be a heel. She will lean into it and has fun doing it. Because also, like, a lot of heels sometimes takes themselves too seriously. So I love that she still has fun with it. Like, I can't wait to see what she does. But I think I'm really looking forward to what Bayley does. I think I want to see, like, that's who I'm going to be really looking at to see what happens next.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Nia Jax. And to your point, I was so happy to see her come out at the presser still wearing the crown. Yeah. Because I'm like, I know you became champion. I don't want it to become like the briefcase where she got the title, so that doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. I still want to remember her as the queen.
For sure.
And now champion because she won the tournament. And hopefully we continue to make Queen of the Ring something that matters from here on forward.
I also love how Nia is the one that genuinely enjoys winning championships. Yeah. She like loves it. She celebrates it with like genuine joy. So I love seeing that. It is interesting. I'm really curious to see what's next. Is Bayley still going to be in the mix? Will we see more of stuff with Tiffany? Or we've been seeing a lot of videos of Charlotte Flair gearing to come back. And you know, when Charlotte's back, she gets a championship. She got a championship right away. At least championship match. Most likely she'll win the title right away. But that's one thing that Nia should be really, really worried about.
Right. We'll see where she goes though, because she was not drafted. So she could show up anytime, but it could be a live and done problem.
Oh, you're right.
I'm interested to see how they would book her because it's so obvious that she would come in and get a title shot right away. I kind of wish that they don't do that like at all. Like almost maybe like tease it, but like totally like not end up doing it. Because I feel like it's like, all right, we get it. Like, but does it have to be that way?
Would you guys be here for a storyline where she's doubting if she's back to her full capability?
Charlotte?
Because she's always been so confident. Would you be here for a story of her doubting if she's going to be able to do what she was doing back then? We've seen a lot of posts from her about her recovery, how hard it has been. Like, an unsecure Charlotte could be something that works.
I'd love that because it's like, it's Charlotte in the Bank or Money in the Charlotte. Whenever she's back, she'll get the title opportunity. Like, she doesn't need, but I do love that because she's been this queen character, the overconfident queen character for her entire career.
Right.
I would love to see some change in character because I feel like some of the horsewomen have shown some different characters throughout, but Charlotte has been very consistent. So I would love that. That's I would love that. Before we wrap up, we had some cameo from Maris looking beautiful.
Amazing.
And then Jacqueline was in the Legend suite with legendary Izzy Dame. Was also in the Legend suite. And then we also saw Ginny come back for a brief moment. And Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, totally.
That hug with CM Punk.
Felt.
Oh, by the way, why am I wearing a CM Punk shirt? It's from Roots of Fight.
I love Roots of Fight. I have so much Roots of Fight stuff.
Wait, you like Roots of Fight?
I love Roots of Fight. I have so much of their stuff, mainly because they have a lot of pink stuff and because it's Bret Hart. But they have a lot of pink stuff for sure. Yes. It's very comfortable. Like, the material's great. It's one of some of my favorite, like, very soft shirts.
Yeah, it's their collaboration with CM Punk. They have collaboration with Andre the Giant. But anyway, love this. That's why I'm wearing it. Love me some CM Punk. But please tell your wife, the legendary AJ Lee, to come back.
Please.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the next pay-per-view already. I mean, hopefully they'll have some black people booked in it because did anybody else notice? There's absolutely no black people on this card.
I am shook. I mean, the overall pay-per-view was
great.
Beautiful.
Loved it.
But Jade and Bianca not getting booked again on a PLE, that was kind of shocking to me.
Do you think this is going to help get those tag team titles to the level that we've always wanted them to get to? Because the women's tag team championships have always just kind of been thrown to the side, and I feel like there's some kind of fan momentum starting to happen with us being like, hey, we want to see Jade and Bianca, want to see get the titles back. Maybe this really gets some momentum behind that, but I agree, they needed to be in the card.
I really hope so, but then like Jade and Bianca, who seemed like they always had to be in PLE type of megastar, they were not booked for PLE for 2 consecutive PLEs, which was so shocking to me. Also, on top of that, Bianca had that Summer Glam contest with 2K, by the way. I was like, where's that? Wasn't she supposed to wear that fan-made gear to SummerSlam?
Then what happened?
I actually asked the 2K people. Apparently, they did pick a winner, and the winner was there. But it just, the match was not booked.
So she just like wore the gear backstage?
Technically, she did say in the video she will wear it for a PLE. So I guess she might be wearing it for the next, we'll see.
The next one, she's booked that next year.
Well, it's not a scam. It's not a scam. The winner was there. He met Bianca. So it did happen.
So you don't get a picture with Bianca in the gear until hopefully they fly this person to the PLE where she actually
Hopefully.
wears it.
Hopefully.
You know?
Yeah, hopefully. But I guess it's out of 2K's hand at this point.
Right.
Triple H.
For sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining me for this SummerSlam review. Isa, where can we all find you?
Oh, you guys can find me on social medias and YouTube, NYC Demon Diva, and you can also see my work with Lucha Libre Online.
Her interviews with all the divas are so good. I love that you were connecting with Jade over the red bottom.
Oh, and the Cartier.
And of course. Bougie girl. And then Paloma, where can we all find you?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll be coming back to the wrestling ring soon. Yay!
And you can find me at DShin on Instagram and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, we have a big shout out to do. Paloma.
Oh my gosh, shout out to Ryan, who was a big Ring the Bell fan that was sitting next to me the whole time in SummerSlam. Great seat, buddy. We talked about predictions. Hey, we both got the Nia prediction right. But it was so good to meet you. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks to Chris, too, to come up to me and said hi to me. And thanks to the family in line who recognized me, too. It's amazing, so humbling when people recognize me. And please, if you ever see me in the street, please feel free to say hi.
This one Ring the Bell fan that I run into at WrestleCon hotel lobby, I was like frozen because I just had an interaction with Trish. Every time I meet Trish, I just literally just freeze. I was like not thinking, so I feel bad. I like walked out. I'm sorry. So I just wanted to say hi. I'm so sorry. What an amazing time in Cleveland.
It was so good. Yeah. It was so fun. I'm so glad we finally get to see a pay-per-view together.
I know. Yeah.